early days, but are they working today? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so how to make this really totally a digital native product? Okay, how do I take this to the Gen Z generation, right? How do we take it there, right? I think that's what meaning keeps me really coming back at it every day.
Sure. So there are a few more members of the Kringle team here, so I'd love to go to them and ask if one of you wants to tell what keeps you going at Kringle. Mr. Arshad, Mr. Pramod.
Yeah, hi. So at Kringle, you are open to express yourself, and no one bosses here. So everyone is boss of themselves. So you're always there to share your ideas, and you're always kept motivated by your seniors. Okay, you are going in a right way. Yeah, they appreciate you. If you are at a wrong way, or you are trying to do something else, so they are always there to guide you. Think like even at your customer acquisition or client interactions, whatever you do at Kringle. So it always keeps you motivated if someone on a higher side is guiding you what you have to be doing with your customers or clients, and what is the way you can grow with Kringle, right? So that is where it is. And it is good that in Kringle everyone can interact with the CEO, CTO, director, everyone. There is no stop like, okay, he is a director, you cannot directly approach him, right? So that kind of culture is not there at Kringle. As you are mentioned, like DeepThought, you can interact easily with everyone from CEO to your colleague, the same way the Kringle works over here. So no one are bosses to anyone. So everyone are self-motivated, and even they are backed with the team, and everyone are supportive. It's like no one says, okay, if someone approaches a team member to have the work done, so everyone thinks about the work, not about why should I do the work assigned by Arshad or assigned by someone junior, right? So that kind of thought is not there at the Kringle, so which is a good and healthy environment over here, and everyone appreciates your work, and everyone works for one goal, like making your customer happy. So that's where I am always motivated to make the customer happy. So with Kringle, I am happy that everyone works for it, from the junior to the senior level.
Yeah, thank you for the candid response, Mr. Arshad. Yeah, would anybody else from the Kringle team want to go in? I saw Mr. Alok unmute himself, so would you want to go in? No.
Is Alok here?
Yeah, I'm here, right? So I think so most of the thing like the like, so we are open to explore here, right? So and we are like we can interact with anybody, right? So even with remote culture, like, so we are just one message away most of the time, and most of the team interacting on daily basis, you can say, right? So and you can say continuous learning is like for everyone, right? So it's from you can say top to bottom is there enforced as like once the Anand sir joined, right? So you can say everyone is continuously pushed to learn, right? So we are learning a lot right now, and that's continuously motivating us, right? So and same way, like, so there are like motivation in terms of like there are multiple responsibilities that teams are getting in terms of their growths also, like, so responsibility come with certain challenges, right? So yeah, those things keep us motivated.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alok. If somebody else from Kringle's team wants to go in, we'd love to hear you.
So just add a couple of points over here, Tarun. Like Kringle team is small, okay, it's not a huge of 100+ members, but the customer base we have is global. Like we have a good brands which we are working with globally, with Australian brand like Ben & Jerry's, as Jansi was mentioning, and even Lakme India. And we are also working with many other brands of Unilever sub-brand. So which is exciting in Kringle, like you are getting the chance to work with different clients in the world. So that is where the good part of it. And even we have US clients and France and different parts of world. So it's always like this company's team is small, but the customer base is huge. That's what I see as of now. And yeah, there is many more to come, and much more growth to Kringle and the team of Kringle.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Mr. Arshad. Would somebody else want to come in from Kringle team?
Yeah, I think most of that stuff already covered by colleagues. The best part of, in Kringle, it's open. Of course, learning is a never ending process, right? So that's what, very good thing about Kringle. So everybody is at same level. There is no senior, junior, right? There is no sir, ma'am. So everybody is happy to add their thoughts as well, right? As long as he can contribute. Okay, not like he's just saying. So as Anand bring us more value to here, right? In terms of a knowledge, in terms of a tech, right? And in terms of a directions, there's so many challenging stuff here. If somebody want to learn here, this is the best platform. Being here at so many years, I still believe myself I'm new to this Kringle team here.
So for
That's
how
what keep motivating us here.
so for how long have you been with Kringle?
It's almost now I'm entering into a 6th year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's how it is. It's a very beautifully, everybody is very, as you can, Alok mentioned. So we are working remotely here, right? So we are one message away. It's not being, we are living all over the India part, right? Someone is from West Bengal, then South, then North, then, top North, and everywhere actually. So that's what, how we are managed, due to this, and we are managing this since from 2.5 years and very successfully.
We,
This is
we have
what
the team from like northeast to like
yeah. And
the southeast tip
correct.
also we have a guy working out of there.
We don't have a restriction of a of a region. You can come anywhere, right? Join us and add value to Kringle.
So where are you
That's how it is. Right now I'm in Shimla and it's heavily raining outside. And you can see there's no light yet. I'm just working like this.
Okay.
That's how it is. Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Alok? Where are you from?
So right now I'm in Gwalior, right? So earlier we were in Delhi, right? So right now I'm relocated to Gwalior, right?
How about you, Mr. Arshad? Where are you right now?
I'm in Andhra
Already
Pradesh,
mentioned.
Tarur, and it's Chittoor district, generally. It's Madanapalli. So that is where I am. I will be frequently traveling to Bangalore and my place. So that is that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Arshad. Mr. Deepansu, where are you from?
Hi, I'm from Gwalior basically, but as of now I'm in Delhi.
Okay. Oh, so you and Mr. Alok are from the same place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Hariharan, you're in Bangalore, right? So
Yes.
okay, great. So at DeepThought, we believe that any company story can be understood better through the people in the company. So it was really nice listening to all of you in terms of what keeps you going. I'm sure now everybody is quite curious to know, okay, what does Kringle actually do, right? After hearing all of what you've said. So now let's go investigate what Kringle actually does. So Mr. Hariharan, what is that one focus problem that Kringle is working on?
Consumer retention.
Okay. And what is the business roadmap that Kringle has, which you're seeing? Like, what are the opportunities which you're currently pursuing, and what are the opportunities you wish to pursue going forward as a company?
So so customer retention in a digital space is changing a lot, right? So the biggest challenge in front of us is actually how do we really take it to the digital natives, right? Think of meaning shopping experience becoming part of metaverse, or shopping experiences via VR and IR. Okay, right? So I would say these are my top thing. Meaning essentially these are all going to change how people are going to purchase. Okay, so to us these are 2-3 areas where we in future where we want to actually put more of the effort. And of course also the other one is looking at how do we kind of the rewards program, how do we really turn it around into more like a crypto, right? How do we offer people cryptos rather than just giving you points here and there, right? How do I offer cryptos, and hence businesses can mint their own cryptos also, because cryptos are all being distributed currency. A company can choose to mint their own crypto, and then float it in the market, right? Meaning we want to help businesses to go in that route, and I strongly believe, like, in 10 years, 20 years, we are going to see that.
Sure, Mr. Hariharan. So I have a few more questions, but before that, I thought I'll ask all of you one common question. So which current technology or feature of Kringle that you're really proud of? That one feature in your technology suite that you're really proud of, if all of you could tell which one and why.
Go last. Let everyone answer.
Okay. Like a leader. Yeah.
We love everything about Kringle. It's not about particular baby. It's a baby for us. You cannot distinguish. That's what I'm saying. It's a Kringle product is a baby to us. So we cannot distinguish this one is good, this one is good.
So tell us one feature and tell why you like it.
I can't compare. Everything is very.
One feature, any one at random, and why you like it.
You can say recently we have added some gamification, which is more fun and more engaging to customers, right? So he can equally play the game, earn something, which is pretty good actually.
What kind of games are possible on Kringle?
So we are keep adding on this part, right? Some kind of you can say spin the wheel, right? Some word games, right? Word match, and there's lots more actually.
So if I'm a client of Kringle, I can pick one of your games and engage my customers with your game. So I don't have to worry about designing.
Yeah, of course. Right. Of course, you can just choose your design, your things, and plug and play and enjoy.
Okay, that's great. So if anybody else wants to tell your one feature which you like and why. Yeah. Mr. Pramod says it's gamification. Yeah, Mr. Arshad.
So it's simple, like the campaign management. So recently we have been given this kind of feature to our clients, okay, which was successful for their political campaigns. So it's a simple feature which we have done, which made a huge difference for the client. So I like that feature a lot, and it is easily deployable for more customers. And we have did recently at least 4 to 5 customers.
How is this different from typical, Facebook or the other LinkedIn or the other campaign management tools?
So, I mean, here you are respectively targeting your customer base. You know your customers at your area, right? So we have some feature like where you can select your list of customer phone numbers or emails, whatever, at your area, who are your customers who will be voting for you, right? Generally, this is a political campaign.
So once I feed my database, what can I do with them? In the campaign management, what do I get?
You can send a SMS to them. You can send an email to them. You can even send a MMS.
So how would this be different from a typical CRM with, say, SMS gateway integration and so on?
No, it is like very simple. Any customer no need to be having any background of knowing the Facebook ads, or they're doing the Facebook campaigns or Google campaigns. Just log in with our dashboard. Just go inside. Just import your customers through CSV or Excel, and just one click. Right.
Do you also give some analytics? Do you also give some analytics and some intelligence?
We do give the analytics to the clients. Like we even give. It depends upon the business of the customer. Think like if it is just a campaign.
Client, what were the tools? What were the analytics they used to make their campaign better?
So to the analytics, whatever the customer base we had, okay, how much of them were real customers or the valid numbers they had, or how many people just received the MMS or SMS sent by us. Right, actually, right, and these are the stuffs we generally give to them, and generally the voting happens within the app. The URLs they share with the MMS or wherever. The responses were huge, right? So that is where these campaigns were very effective for those political clients. What we have shown.
Sure, Mr. Arshad. If somebody else wants to go in with your favorite feature of Kringle and why.
Yeah. So one of the features that we have latest, like that is still in nascent state, right? So on the mobile side, so we have something called Flow Manager, right? That excites me. Like in terms, like you can completely control the mobile application workflow, action, interaction from the remote, right? If you don't have to change the code, and you can completely configure the things in the JSON, right? You are clicking on this button. Currently, it is redirecting you to somewhere else. Now you can change it, and it will redirect, and everything is like something that is totally driven from the JSON, right? And another feature, like similarly, page builder.
Could you go over this once again, just in case somebody is not a coder, just trying to?
Right. So something like, so let's say technically when we're developing mobile apps, right? So you have to write every interaction in the application code. Like
Correct.
I'm clicking on a button, I have to go there, right? I have to write it in the code, right?
Right.
So instead of writing that particular thing in the code, we can define a particular structure in the format of JSON, like some definition so that it can understand, and like based on that definition can be pulled from the remote server, and then based on that definition it can redirect based on the available definition. Like instead of redirecting you to the page 1, you have to now redirect to the page 2, right? That completely controlled from that. So that like open up us like a lot of possibilities so that we can like with the simpler code base and like meaningful features we can develop.
Okay, so basically you're saying the amount of coding effort reduces between the flow from one.
Like let's say there is a new requirements coming up, right? So we have to maybe most of the part will be available and we have to just tweak the definition and that's it.
Okay. So do you see this go towards the direction of no code or eventually?
Technically, that is the goal, but that will take a lot of time to us, right? So because then in this case, we have to have some kind of UI editor also so that we can define like screen 1 to screen 2 a path and you can like interact with that. Then only it will be like in that situation.
So this is more like an internal tool which you use to service clients, or is it something which the clients can?
This is like for currently it is an internal one, you can say, that to develop the applications, but the plan is something like once that is enough in like you can say we have some interfaces available for the client, then that may be released to the clients too.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Mr. Deepansu, please go ahead. I saw you to speak.
Yeah. So actually I like the all of the t-shirts in Kringle, but one is my favorite is the chaining thing.
Could you hold your mic a little closer, please? You're not very audible.
Now I am.
Yeah, it's better. It's better. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I like this chaining thing here. For example, like I am signing up in the application, right? So what happens, like I earn, for example, a game or a spin the wheel, right? After doing that, I can earn one discount, and that discount I can apply to my order. And after that order, I can earn something like, scratch card or points, and that points I can use for redeeming. And that redeeming gives me something, another thing. Like, for example, you can earn one more game credit, and after that, again, you can earn something else. So means like once you entered in this, right? So you are keep going inside it. Okay, now you place order, now you get this thing also, right? So this thing I really like it. So everything is connected together. So once you are entered, so it's tough to get out from this.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now over to you, Mr. Hariharan. Last.
Yeah. So I think the important feature I love in Kringle is the team.
Okay, that was very poetic, but the tech features you like.
Yeah, so I would like to pick on what just Alok described the feature. Actually, like we are indeed trying to move through a no-code situation there. Okay, and it's not the only place we are doing that. There are a few places we have been trying to do. Like Alok spoke about one area, the mobile application, but we are doing these things in similar areas, right? We are moving through no code. The other thing is from a technology standpoint, for the size of the company, like we are actually our deployment has been fully automated. So the practically meaning nobody sits and deploys the solution here, patches there, nothing. Like it's all click of a button. That's it. The entire deployment happens. Okay, it all happens in in no time, and we are all auto scaled. So like with the volumes increasing, we scale up and and scale down automatically. Okay, all these things are automated process. So there is all these things happen. Like meaning we have customers in Australia. Like when the volumes are hitting the roof, we are all sleeping. We don't want to be sitting and watching these things, right? But meaning our servers like scale up, scale down, and all these things have been fully automated solutions have been put in place. And to me, for the size of the company, this has been a phenomenal thing.
Sure. So now I have my next question again for everybody here. So I think technological innovation involves a lot of experiments. So I'd like to ask all of you, what is that one failure at Kringle which you really love? One failure of yours at Kringle which you really enjoyed and why? Because I'm sure it's very important to celebrate failure, right? So I'd love to, do that here with all of you. If you could celebrate that one failure at Kringle while you were trying something new. Yeah.
So I would rather give some of them now. Start with. Okay. So, like, my first two projects or the first two work I did in Kringle are failures. So, first one, we tried to build a reporting infrastructure. It failed. It failed because it was very futuristic, but it never got into the current. So the connect could never be made, and we have to dump it.
So what was the learning from this?
The learning was that, in essence, meaning like we have to do incremental build, not like build an island and then hope that we will connect it another day, right? So rather build incrementally, like and get there.
And did you reuse any of these pieces somewhere else? Did the learnings of this project come in some other project later on?
The concepts were all good, meaning, and exactly the same concept was implemented now and it's working. And only like I think Pankaj is not here. He is the one who did it, like meaning last few weeks back. So this has gone live. So conceptually we are still the same, but infrastructure we have changed, meaning 2 years, like things have changed. So we have changed the infrastructure a little differently, but conceptually we have just built the same thing, but we build it incrementally. Okay. Yeah, the other project, like meaning which failed is like we wanted to move to React Native, and we started, and we did it. We did part of it, and then eventually, like that has to be stopped because it couldn't cope up with the changes happening in the current platform. It was just like too many things happening, and the platform, the base platform itself was not that ready that you can convert it over. Okay, it had got enough of improvement areas where they were left open. We were trying to convert it like with certain defects, and it became quite challenging, and then we have to drop that midway. So yeah.
Sure, Mr. Hariharan. If somebody else wants to share your favorite failure story. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of my favorite one is like code refactoring. So because as you can understand, like technology is continuously like changing, right? So in the mobile space also, like earlier, like 5 years back, we have Java like for Android, and now Kotlin is there everywhere. Same for iOS, like we have now Swift, and earlier Objective-C was the thing, right? So one of the failure was like something like we try to refactor huge amount of code quickly in a short span of time, and now together with the we had certain like project deadlines. Generally, we try to refactor codes along with the running projects, right? So that it will be compensated during that time if we are getting some time. So, but what was the mistake was that we tried to refactor a huge amount of code together in one shot, right? So that was like we have to revert back, and then we have to just take it in the chunks, and then the learnings was simply like we have to do the incremental upgrades wherever possible instead of doing the thing in bulk.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Alok. I'm sure that was a great learning. So
Yeah.
somebody else want to go in?
Yeah, I have many. It's hard to pick one of them. But one of the great thing is about Lakme while we are deploying the Lakme product. So suddenly we haven't calculated about this, bot attack. That's what, make lot of things to learning, bring lots of learning to me actually. I love that. It's the something, something I remember.
So, Mr. Pramod, do you think you made enough mistakes in your 6 years with Kringle? Or would you want
Yeah,
any more?
being as a backend developer, we usually do. We learn from our mistakes, and I love to do mistakes.
So how
That's,
does
keep me motivating.
how does Mr. Anand deal with your mistakes?
So I think Anand is going to say, so being as a human, we are going to make mistakes, right? So,
Right, right. So it's up to Anand. It's his patience, his great leadership, which he can tolerate us.
Yeah, meaning mistakes are like, they are the stepping stones.
Yeah, they are stepping stones. I
You
think
don't,
they
you
are
don't
the
experiment, you
Yeah.
don't like progress.
correct. That's what in my personal opinion. If you don't do any mistake, you never learn. So that's how it is.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pramod. Thank you, Mr. Alok. Would anybody else from Kringle team want to share? Yeah, Mr. Deepansu, please go ahead.
Yes, actually, I still remember I was working on this, add-on space. So Anand sir explained me everything, whatever is required, but I made something else, which was, working functionally fine, but that was not user friendly there. So what happened, like after that, I need to recreate the complete page. So from that, I learned like firstly write the steps, what exactly has to do, from what will be the features in this page, and how the interaction will happen with the sorry client. So from that I learned that thing. That was super amazing mistake I
So
did.
were you able to reuse, given that he asked you to make A and you made a completely different B, so
Right.
was that A in itself valuable to be used somewhere else?
Um, Basically it was useful, but it was not that much of user friendly. Basically,
Okay.
too many things to do. For a single step, I have to do a lot of things. Click here, click there, then do this thing, then you will do this thing, like that. So
Great.
after that, I started, writing the things down first. Then I start building.
Yeah, I'm glad you're reflecting and learning from the mistakes.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Hariharan, so now I have a question. I have one more question for all of you, two more questions rather for all of you, and then we'll move into all the participants to take their questions. So, one question I have for you is, so I can see that Kringle is very ambitious. I'm sure all of us can see the ambition of Kringle in terms of the kind of problems you want to solve, the kind of technology you wish to create in the consumer space. So, and as you mentioned that, you'd like to change with times, right? Upgrade the technology to keep up with metaverse or augmented reality or virtual reality or any of the technologies which get popular with consumers, with digital natives, as you articulated. So what is the kind of fundamental technology you're building right now to make sure that these pieces largely remain invariant and the new technologies can sit on top of these pieces to prepare you? How are you preparing yourself for the future is my question.
So in terms of technology, like see, ours is a largely component oriented technology. Everything is kind of, wrapped, shrink wrapped into, components most of the places. Okay, though except still we have some few monolithic stuff, but largely ours is component oriented. And hence our approach is basically like horses for the courses. It's not like we are not married to a technology to be used come what may. Okay, we have built our code is largely in PHP, but we have Python, we have Node.js, okay, and we have Java. All this kind of stuff all present in the system today. Okay, and we'll continue to do it. Okay, and also where possible we will actually our approach is integrate with partner solutions rather than trying to build it yourself. For example, you talk of AR, VR, these are all areas by that in itself. So the thing is though there are tools and stuff we can build it, but our intent is try and integrate with a partner solution so that your offerings actually continues to evolve over time. Okay.
Great. So you feel that the basic technology you've built, many of those pieces will remain invariant over a period of time because you're just going to seamlessly integrate them with solutions which partners would be developing.
Yeah.
Okay. So in case anybody else from Kringle wants to add to that, we'd love to hear you. Well, otherwise, I have a very interesting question coming up next, but in case somebody wants to add to this, we'd love to hear you as well in terms of your plans for Kringle for the future, right? For the next 5 years. Let me put it that way. Your plans for Kringle for the next 5 years. Mr. Alok, are you trying to speak? Yeah.
Yep. So in terms of my plans for the Kringle, like so, as Anand mentioned, like so, in mobile space, so we are trying to accommodate some kind of you can say AR VR technology in terms of loyalty and in terms of like e-commerce space, right? So maybe you can place an order in the VR from the VR devices, or maybe some kind of chat what you can interact with so that you can place certain order, or maybe you got some reward based on why you are visiting on certain outlet, some kind of. So that kind of space, like we may be looking in coming.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Alok.
So in my point of view, Tarun, we are looking for at least 50 plus customers to be live and using our services actively in coming 5 years.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Mr. Arshad.
we seeing the growth with our clients and we grow together.
And just to add over here, like, so we are also working on this, this model where where client can choose what service, they want to configure, or they can manage, their roles also, what their roles means, like, for example, manager and, head office roles, these kind of things, what kind of access they will get, or what kind of features they will see, which kind of services they can, access. So this will be going to be like, so
Do it
yes,
your-
client, sorry.
Do it yourself, DIY.
Yeah, DIY model. Yeah. So basically, like, client will configure what exactly they want, and they will see in their mobile apps, PWAs, or wherever they are using the service, right? And also this SDKs also we start working on this, right? So they can just they just need just get that what is it, a code of snippet, and they can use our services. Like they really don't need to integrate with our APIs. They can use our SDK for the loyalty as well, right? So if they want to use this, so we are making it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Deepansu. Okay, so we'll now move to my last question before the participants come in with questions. So my question is, I'd like you to pick any one person at Kringle and introduce that person to us. I'd want all of you to pick any one person at Kringle and introduce that person to us. That person need not be present here on this link.
If multiple people selected one person, then
that's okay. We'll understand that this person is quite popular at your place.
yeah.
So I picked Deepansu, okay, at Kringle. So he's the most active guy in our team, okay, and he's very young and he's multi-talented because he has started with PWS in Kringle first, but with seeing his interest and excitement, so Anand has given a very challenging task for him, which he achieved within the time and with good, with good output. So yeah, he's always there and he never says no to anything. That has been seen with all of us, like with Anand, with Pramod, and even with Alok. So he has been working in the back end, he's working at the front end, and he works on UI, everything. He is an all-rounder as of now. That's what I can say.
Okay, Deepansu, looks like you're quite popular. Yeah, who's going in next? Yeah.
Same here, same Deepansu, Pankaj. Yeah.
How do you introduce them?
They are dynamic actually. They love challenges and always, with good intent as well. A dynamic person. What can I say? Uh, they are not to stick to a particular tag. I'm hiring for this thing and I don't want to be interested in that. No, give them the
Show me the
opportunities.
problem.
They will, show me the problem. That's it. We will finish this anyhow. That's how it is. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pramod. Who's going in next?
Alok.
Yeah.
Alok. I would also name Alok as well. Such a dynamic personality is.
Yeah. Over to you, Mr. Alok.
So I say Anand, like so. He is the one like who is leading us.
Is
Right.
guru.
Sorry, he's the one.
Whatever the problem, like so, whatever problem I have, maybe like we have a solution.
Okay.
Discuss your problem, you get the solution. That's it.
Okay. Over to you, popular man, Deepansu.
I'll say like Anand sir. So basically, I think I cannot do it. Anand sir will say, Ari, you can do it. You only can do it. This thing, like while creating the games, I was thinking the spin the wheel thing. Okay, how this like they put a limit of they want to distribute along among the 1 lakh prizes. Okay, I was thinking how this BV operation is going to be happen. Like so many things, so many calculations, so many real time we need to calculate things, right? So then he explained with pigeon and holes type of examples how it is going to be done. I was not thinking about that way at all, right? And one of the example is like this PWA thing using this WordPress thing. Okay, so first I was thinking why we are using WordPress for the PWA, we can go with this Angular and all, right? Then when I start working, then I came to know we can connect with the content editor, the CMS of the WordPress with our application directly, and we can edit the content in the real time when user is viewing it without doing anything. And this, so we don't have to do anything. Client can do it by themselves. So it's just like source of energy, you can say like that.
Okay. Thank you,
So,
Deepansu.
Tarun, Anand is the best CTO and he is the best guy who gets the best out of everyone. Okay, that's what it is. Your hidden talent, he will take it out. Okay, that's
Right.
where we are having a best person on top of us. So, who got everyone's talent, not only Deepansu, okay, Pramod, Alok, everyone. Even we have seen so many people in our team who are working on multi platforms, not just on web apps or only on mobile app or backend. So there are guys. If there are only 10 guys in the development, out of 10, at least 8 members will be knowing end to end on anywhere they can work on, not just on web app or something. So that's how he just sees the potential on every guy and tries to push his potential to next level. Okay, that is where we are happy and we are lucky to have him like our boss.
Like I joined when I joined Kringle, so I was only knew this HTML CSS. After that, I was given task related to JavaScript. I was thinking I cannot do it, right? So like my senior supported, and also I completed. That was amazing moment. Like that was my first task which I completed, and I was feeling so good for chance to learn on this WordPress, PHP, and I started work on the backend side, right? Laravel thing. So this is how it goes. Like I learned so many things in this, a short period.
Okay. Thank you, Deepansu. Over to you, Mr. Hariharan. Whom would you introduce in Kringle and how?
Yeah, so I would introduce a couple of people who are not there in this call. One is Mr. Ankit Mishra. Okay, he actually works with Arshad. Okay. So Ankit was always, kind of seen as a, meaning like we had like a larger QA team once. Ankit was basically like, was the junior most at the time. And for reasons we have to lose, we have lost part of the team. And that is when, like, we really knew what Ankit is capable of. Like, in matter of 3 months, he stepped up so much that, meaning, I wanted to say, like, there are certain few things which, you don't even talk about it, you don't tell people very obviously, like, meaning things like his communication capabilities. He was struggling to communicate once, and nobody told him he has to, like, improve his communication. It's just that, in 3 months, he just, like, like, started contributing and, started communicating well. And today, he's like, he can freely talk with everybody. It's not about language barrier. He's basically, like, being a little bit on the introvert side. But now, like, he's been, like, very, very communicative, works with everybody. And, meaning, like, some Arshad was saying, right, now Ankit can tell work to Alok to do, and Alok does it. So that's one. The other one is, I want to pick what's her name, who got married to lately. I forgot the name.
Nishantan.
Yeah. So this is also a person, meaning, was coming from a very, very typical background of a, meaning, village background. Okay, he had, like, 1.5 years of experience, but not really, like, meaning, kind of meaning, was very, very underconfident about his own capabilities. Okay, and again, like, in 6 months, he has become turned around to a star, like, where, meaning, Pramod and Pankaj, like, and Deepansu turn around tasks to work to him, like, without thinking too much. Okay, so it's basically the turnaround has been the same thing. Like, he also had a communication challenge. No one told him that he needs to improve his English. Okay, while he was earlier, he was struggling to speak English in the meetings. Now he converses with everybody, like, meaning, given we being all remote and multilingual thing, right? Meaning, it's a challenge for someone coming from deep south, right? To work, meaning, like, start mingling with people who are practically the other side of the India, right? So I think the way these two guys have, like, kind of, how they grew up, how quickly, and, sensing the opportunity and, taking it on, right? I think, that's what I like about it.
Yeah. So now I think in case any of the participants have questions, I'm sure you are holding on to many questions. You can go ahead and ask your questions. Yes, Sarah, please go ahead with your question.
Hello, good evening, everyone. First of all, it's a lovely organization. From what I've heard, I really liked how well everybody is associated with everybody, and everyone is just comfortable. There's no, although there is professionalism, but still you're like friends. So it was really good, and all the ideas, hearing about the growth, the things that everybody has learned was quite good. So my question is to Mr. Anand. Uh, you mentioned that you had a problem, like you made a mistake that the reporting structure was too futuristic, right?
Mhm.
That's what you said, if I'm right.
Yeah.
So isn't something being like futuristic a good thing? Because like since we talked about Gen Z, right? And Gen Z is like our outlooks are in a futuristic way. We're looking onto things in a futuristic way. So I want to know that if it was futuristic, and since our Generation Z is futuristic, why could it not work out? I'm just curious about it.
Sure. See, futuristic from a technology standpoint is good, but we always have to understand there is a element of making it work, right? But see,
Yeah.
we are building a part of the software which needs to interact with the rest of the software, right? You can build one in a futuristic way, and it cannot talk with what is there currently, right?
Yeah.
Then that is where it's basically became another island which is on its own. There is no way to, like, from the current Kringle world, there is no way to get to that island.
Yeah.
So that's what has happened, right? Rather, meaning that's what we want to build certain things, even if you want to do futuristic, you need to be like incrementally moving towards it, right? Yeah.
And to like cross question in terms of like you said that you learned incremental build from it, right? So what does exactly incremental build mean? Like I'm very new to this.
See, incrementally, basically, like, it is simple, very simple thing. Like, you make one improvement every day to get there. Let's say you want to save for your, let's say, your dream holiday. Okay, let's say we say as of now you estimate it will cost you 4 lakhs. Okay, so you want to save every day a penny, right, towards that, right? So you're not losing your what you want to do, right? But you are actually like working towards that every day.
Yeah.
So that's the approach should be.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's like quite interesting, and it's quite important as well to learn that. So thank you so much. That was it.
See, please go ahead with the question. Jansi, am I audible? You can go ahead with the question.
Yeah. So my question is to Anand, sir. So currently we are towards B2B business model, right? So is there any scope on focusing in future B2C? And what do you like? What is stopping us to get into B2C? Do you face any challenges? And
I'm not sure what you are referring as we are B2B. We are providing solutions for B2C customers also.
okay.
Meaning, like, for example, I'll just say, like, where is our, we have a Swiggy, Zomato like solution running in New Zealand, food delivery, called Gimme. Okay. So it's a purely B2C solution.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So one more question, sir. So to increase sales at Kringle, you suggest geofencing technology, right? So why only geofencing technology? Like any, do you find anything interesting to opt this technology? I would like to know.
So geofencing is the most feasible and available, right? Meaning people carry their mobile phones, right? So geofencing becomes possible, right? Okay, so it's largely based on the feasibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
So providing personalized shopping experience, what other technologies your team is following up, and while choosing those technology, like do you find any metrics like to keep in a first place, follow this kind of technology like that? Do you have anything to track upon?
See, the consumer experience are all quite different. Okay. See, and it varies by geography, varies by the need. See, there are a lot of variants which drives this thing. Okay. See, what you need to build out for a health and beauty versus a grocery versus a restaurant, right? They're all quite different. Okay. So they cannot mean there is not one method which works for all. Okay. So, and then it's also like, you are, see, as we individuals, like there are times we have all the patience to explore, and there are times we just want to just buy and move on, right? So it's all like, see, so many intersecting points and contradicting needs are always there. At the end of the day, balance needs to be done, and our customers generally, they also have their own studies. They have a reasonable understanding of their consumer base, and hence, we are giving opportunity for them to design it the way they think it's appropriate for their business, right?
So, Mr. Anand, before I bring in Saurav for this question, so you operate both B2B and B2C currently, is it, or are you largely B2B and you're trying a few things in B2C? Or
are both B2B and B2C. Our solutions can be applied for both.
okay, so so you manage the business on the B2C vertical, or you have some partners who
No,
do the-
all are part of this thing, right? All are part of this. The same product works for all.
Okay,
The
so
products do the same.
so your business team actually picks up the restaurants, ties up with them.
Yeah, I mean, see, I want to just make sure B2C is Kringle is not running the business. Okay. Okay. So we are offering the solutions for B2Cs and B2Bs.
Okay.
Both.
Okay, but as a business, you're B2B.
Yeah, as a business, we are B2B. We are just offering solutions to the businesses. Yeah.
So I think Jhansi's question is more in terms of why are you structured as a B2B business?
Okay. See, look, B2C is basically like, you have to play in the commerce market. We are not there. We are a technology company. We are not a retail store or a commerce place. Okay. We are a technology company.
And as far as you have touched to like various domains, like from your past experiences, and which domain you like your team has faced some difficulties or like challenging?
I think every customer has certain challenges, no doubt. I think see, largely the challenge is understanding their consumer base, right? And taking the product more closer to their consumer base. That is where like most of the challenges comes, and and these things has to be like collaboratively worked out with the customer, and has to be done, has to be taken up. Okay, so what works in India doesn't work in another country.
Yeah.
Simple stuff like meaning. This is all like like for example, I'll just give one classical example. Like in India, no one wants passwords. Everyone is happy with OTP
Yeah.
to like get authenticated. That just doesn't work. For example, Australia, it is just prohibitive to do it because one SMS costs like $1.30 Australian dollars. It's just prohibitive. You just can't do it.
Okay. So yeah, it depends to
Yeah.
case to case.
So there is a lot of variance on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Over to you, Saurabh.
Hi, sir. Good evening. So as we discussed about future of Kringle, like we want to bring in VR and crypto as well. I'm more curious about like how did the idea of Kringle came to you, like, and how it has evolved over time, as we got to know from that the company is more than 6-year-old, I feel. So how it come to you, the idea of Kringle, and how is that evolved over time?
So to be honest, I'm not the founder, so I can't answer the question of like how the idea came. So I am a late joiner there. Okay, probably like me and Arshad are the meaning like me and Arshad are the late joiners. Right? Everybody else were seniors to us in a sense. But nevertheless, like I would answer the basically like I would try to answer that in a more like what drives Kringle's existence, right? Okay. So we want to like make a change in the digital consumer experience. Okay, not limited to like meaning meaning see the e-commerce we are seeing like the Amazons and the Flipkarts is what we typically think. E-commerce is not just that. Everything we touch today. Okay, I don't think like meaning today already like probably you are 50-60% you are consuming only everything you consume in your life is all coming through digitally. Okay, and it will change, and it will change you like practically to 100%, right? So the challenges are going to be different. Like I'll just keep going back to like talking about how many of you like meaning ordered an ice cream online? So like how did you pick your ice cream?
I think I picked it up on Swiggy. I mean, I knew the brand, I knew the flavor I wanted, so just came home.
But if you have to like know more about what that ice cream is about, how that might look like, how that might taste like, and same thing like for some of the women folks here, like, now how do you buy a beauty product? You are trying to buy a nail polish. How would you know, how will it look on you? I think like many people would have done this thing, right? Lenskart would have tried Lenskart, right? Can anyone tell what Lenskart, one unique thing they did, which made them really like, very famous?
So
They
virtual.
came up.
You can do that AR thing, VR AR thing, where you can actually try out the lens on your face itself.
The technology aside, but they just made it very personalized. You can check it on yourself, right? How does it look on you, right? Okay, right? Like, meaning same thing. Like many of this purchasing is going to be experience based. Okay, so that's where like meaning we want to like really go there, like help people with the experiences, right? And hence increase the customer retention and customer like what typically in commerce world we call as customer lifetime value. We want to increase that for the businesses.
Yeah. So yeah, Sakshi, you can go ahead with your question.
Good evening, everyone. So my question actually is for everyone. As everyone almost said that there is no junior or senior, and there's nobody bossing around. So that means that we are moving towards a system or a structure of the organization that is not as hierarchical as it used to be earlier times or even now in some organizations. So my question basically was, how does it affect the decision-making process? And what made you move towards this structure rather than the common or traditional organization structure?
See, fundamentally, like it's all like meaning goal based, right? End of the day, we have a problem in hand. We want to solve the problem, okay? And so the intent is to move towards solving the problem.
Yes, sir.
So the decisions are evaluated against that rather than where it is coming from. Okay, right? So as long as you keep like focus on that goal, things all like start falling in place. Okay.
So does it delay the process of decision making or fastens it?
See, like if you're transforming an organization from one mode to the other mode, probably it might delay initially, right? But whereas like meaning Kringle has largely been working in that mode for longer. So meaning for me personally, like it has not made anything meaning there is no delay in decision making process because people understand the goal and they just move towards it. And if they know they are not moving, they stop and ask questions. Okay. Yes. If they are in doubt, they ask a question.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, sorry, just to add one thing here. Like this also helps me to share my ideas to my everyone in Kringle. If there is something like, oh, he's senior, so like he only make some kind of decision on the project related. But now like I can also share my ideas. Okay, we can add this thing new, or we can modify this thing, right? Yeah. So and they respect also, right? They also tell, okay, this is the disadvantage or this is the advantage. We can go with this, right? Like that. We implement it. We brainstorm about around that idea. We do these kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, Hemant, you can go ahead with your question.
Hello everyone, I'm Hemant. So my question is like, what products are you currently working on?
The product is always under continuous development. So the entire loyalty suite we have is continuously under development. If your question is a little specific, I can answer it. Like
with any specific brand you are working right now?
So we have multiple customers implementations going on, including like some for example, like I think somebody spoke about Lakme. We have like working with Ben and Jerry's. We are working with few other Unilever brands. Okay, And we are working with meaning Bira 91. You guys might be know.
A beer brand, right?
Right, yeah. So we work with them. We work with Diageo. Like if you are into hard liquor, you can, so yeah.
Yeah, there is a follow-up question, like with such small team, like how are you like approaching the product? What is the product roadmap? So how are you dealing with all this?
See, we are selling our product. We are not selling a service, right? So obviously, like we make sure, like meaning our customers are like meaning kind of within our meaning. Rather, like what to say, like meaning our product, existing products should serve most of their needs, right? Just guys, give me a second. Let me get my lights.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Devmita, you can go ahead with your question.
Hello, sir. My question is actually what I have seen that Kringle is working mostly on with the companies like e-commerce, m-commerce, or offline retailers. But I want to ask you, what is Kringle's picture for the like us? We don't run any business. We don't need any technology, but still, what is Kringle to us? Like
who is this?
Larger
Can you be
audience.
more clear? You mean normal digital consumers, or? But
Yes.
by us, are you referring to normal digital consumers or freelancers, or?
Normal digital consumers, like if Swiggy is approaching Kringle, but we are the one who is using Swiggy. So for us, what is Kringle? That is
Okay, so
I want to know from.
Correctly, what is Kringle for the end consumer?
Exactly, right.
Consumer. What it means is the question is what meaning. So our focus is on like selling the product to the businesses, right? Okay. So the businesses like in a sense they understand their consumers and build the solutions which their consumers are like supposed to be liking, right? Okay. So in a sense, like we are not trying to reach the consumer as is. Okay. Of course, we are reaching the consumer through the customer face of the customer, right? Meaning, for example, you go to Lakme site, you see Kringle. Kringle is there in the behind, right? But you may not, you as a consumer may not know Kringle, and it is okay. Okay, for you, like if the experience with Lakme turns out to be good, and there is like you, there are many people who choose to continue and be like with Lakme. That brings us more business, and meaning the customer starts liking, the businesses start liking us, and kind of that's how the cycle goes for us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Over to you, Arjun, for your.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Arjun Mandal, and I looked into Kringle, its website and its LinkedIn, and I noticed that you are a Californian-based company. And I'm not sure when you came to India, maybe a few years back, maybe before the pandemic. So this is a very general question. I wanted to ask you, I mean, your company has worked with big clients like Lakme as well. So I wanted to ask that how do you acquire these clients? Like, do they come to you, or do you pitch yourself to them? You contact them. You just show up at their office and then you start pitching. How do you acquire these clients?
I think we got your question, Mr. Hariharan. What is the go-to-market strategy of Kringle?
Typically, like most of our sales is enterprise focus. So we actually like have our sales team in contact with the potentials, and that's how these businesses comes to Kringle. That's so far that's been that way. So, but like as part of this exercise, one of the thing we are trying to do is like go more digital marketing and digital sales. So that's where like some of those these initiatives are all going on.
And sir, another question. I mean, you did talk about your organization and the workplace, and the people working, they wear many caps, and it is a very, you know, it's a very flexible work environment. So I wanted to ask, what will be the role of us as the interns in your organization? There are, I mean, 4 openings. One of them, I have applied for technical project management, product management. So I wanted to ask, what will be the role of that?
For what will be the role of technical product manager?
Yes, yes, sir.
So the technical product manager, see, again, like meaning it's as you already heard from some of the folks, there is no really like meaning boxed approach we have. Okay, right? So a technical product manager can contribute on anything. Okay, but coming to specific to your question, right? From a technical product manager standpoint, things which are important is like taking the product definition, whatever has been discussed, agreed upon, right? Putting that out, visualizing those product definitions, okay? And then, working with the engineering team to have that implemented and create demos and, materials, right? Sales materials based on those features, okay? Right, so it's basically from the product conception phase into the basically like customer, and also you'll be involved in the customer implementation. So in the sense that when the product is being implemented in the customer, you need to understand the customer requirement and then propose exactly how Kringle product should be used, okay? And also potentially identify if there are any gaps to the customer needs, and then they have to be highlighted so that those gaps can be implemented and fitted into the solution.
Yes, thank you. I understood.
Yeah. So thank you for the lovely session, Mr. Hariharan. So one last question I have for you is like, I think we've discussed a lot of beautiful ideas. So what kind of people are you looking forward to hire for Kringle, right? So what kind of people would excite you?
We are looking for people who are curious, problem solvers, and innovative, and really like bring a blend in our experience. If you're seeing, right, meaning we have like probably we have the team which is in the 30s, right, excepting few here, right? We want to really bring like the digital natives or like people who are in the early 20s, right? The way you guys think, the way you want to experience things is very different, right? We want to bring that touch, right? Meaning we want you to think yourself as consumers and say like what kind of a product features will work, right? Meaning, okay, so you want to like bring innovation into the product. Okay, it's easy to say like we'll use AR VR, but how to use it, where to use it, in what sense, right? Okay, right, that is where I think like what technology to use is not the problem, like how to use the technology, right? Okay, how can we be innovative, like how can we be like how can we generate like more lifetime value from a consumer? What will bring the consumer back? What mechanics, right? Yeah, so this is where like we are looking like these are the kind of people like people who are curious and true problem solvers. You lack us, meaning we are not very particular that you should know some technology, some programming language, nothing like, but someone who's curious to understand and, and can innovate, understand and innovate.
Okay.
On the similar line, I will also have one question.
No, I think we are running a little out of time, Saurav. So I'd like to end this program with one little activity. I want everyone, including the participants and the team for Kringle, to conclude this with one sentence. How do you want to conclude this with one sentence? So I'd like to request everybody to conclude this with one sentence. It could be your takeaway, it could be a question you're asking yourself, or it could be something which you realized. Just one sentence. Who wants to go in first? What is that one sentence you'd say at the end of this entire session?
Let's grow together.
Let's grow together. Okay. I know this can be challenging, but what is that one sentence which comes to your mind if you want to just go ahead and say it? Yeah, Arjun. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry. I understood what Kringle is all about.
Okay, you understood what Kringle is all about. Okay, great. Anybody else? Yeah, Jansi.
Be open to learn.
Okay, be open to learn. Great. Sarah, in case you're speaking, we can't hear you. You may want to unplug and replug your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I've typed it. If somebody cannot hear me, I think less is more.
Okay, great. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got to know about the Kringle is teamwork is important.
Okay, you learned that teamwork is important. Thank you, Chanakya. Anyone else?
I will say. I enjoyed the conversation while everyone was saying about how they made mistakes and learned from it, and I love that part.
Okay, thank you, David. I'm glad you enjoyed that part. Who's going next?
Things can be figured out in small teams also. For big companies also, they can help.
Okay.
So anything can be figured out. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Hemant.
So keep moving, nothing will stop you.
Okay.
The growth.
Sorry?
The failure is the growth.
Could you go over that again?
The failure is the growth.
Failure is the growth. Okay, interesting. Who's going next?
Be ready for experiment and learning.
Okay, be ready for experiments and learning. Okay. Okay, Dinesh couldn't speak, so he's sent it in chat. New work culture aligned to the goal and vision, work together. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Yeah, Naveen.
Yeah, so I think non-hierarchical, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so I think a non-hierarchical team can still do wonders, and learning from mistakes can do a lot of wonders.
Okay. Thank you, Naveen. Anyone else? Okay, I'll count up to 3.
I think communication is the key.
Communication is the key. Okay. Anyone else?
I think adapt and reflect is also the key to success.
Adapt and reflect. Okay. Thank you, Vindhya. Who's going next? Okay. So, Mr. Hariharan, last words from you.
Yeah, it's been a very good session, I think, meaning So I never thought, it's actually it ended up being like reflecting my past 2 years, which feels very good. Sometimes, chewing on the past gives you the good feelings. So the last 1 hour, I kind of, like went through my last 2 years journey. That's wonderful.
So I'm glad all of you had a great experience, and I'm sure this can help all the new applicants to Kringle get a good essence of what the company is about. And as I said at the beginning, at DeepThought, we believe to understand the company, it's important to see the company through the eyes of the people of the company. So we'd like to thank Mr. Hariharan, Mr. Arshad, Mr. Deepansu, Mr. Alok, and I think Mr. Pankaj is not here with us today. We'd like to thank Mr. Pramod. We'd like to thank all of you from Kringle for sharing your perspectives with us today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.